Good evening from Swansea wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, your one-stop shop for professional wrestling, insight, news, and reviews on a daily basis. It's Monday, 16th of December, 2024. We're 9 days away from Christmas. I can't believe it's that close now. I really cannot. But also, and more importantly today, it is a Monday, and you know what that means. It means we've got some mail. And today, in honor of one of our guests, actually, on the panel, we are doing something a little bit different from Mailbag. We are not only answering questions you guys have submitted via the Mailbag, but we're also answering hot takes that you guys have submitted as well. And the idea for this came from something that one of our panelists were doing a couple of months ago, and I'll actually introduce him first today. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing great. No complaints here. Yeah, Monday is the best day in Wrestling Republic Daily, in my opinion, because it's always great opening up the mail, seeing what we got. But the hot takes, I'm fired up for that. But what do you got to say about me and what I did?
Well, you were responding to the hot takes a couple of months ago on the Instagram.
Yes, I was.
Instagram
Yes, I was. I forgot about that. I was thinking about the Markowitz Morning Rumor Roundup that I did 2 years ago back then. But I totally
his idea, and
you
didn't even know it.
That's how good it was, Clark. Yeah, I was running the hot takes through the Instagram for a while. I'm sure a bunch of you guys saw it. Finally, I think I'm responding to a few of these here today, and we're all going to respond to some great hot takes. So I'm fired up about that.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun one. And also joining us, you guys just heard him, we have Mr. Clark Taylor. How are you today, Clark?
Sorry for jumping in early there, but I needed that badly because honestly, Josh, when he started introducing it, I thought he was going to say it was me. And I was like, I don't remember having that idea. So I'm
so did I.
I was like, that sounds like something maybe I would have said, but I don't remember saying it. Either way, I'm stoked to be here. Happy Mailbag Monday, everybody. We'll answer some mail and some takes. It's awesome. We got mail and takes.
I should have just said it was my own idea, shouldn't I? I said it was my own idea, everybody.
Anybody, I would have bought it.
We have Rosario in the YouTube comments. Shout out to you. And now, well, let's get right into the mail, shall we? Because we have a hot take submission out of the gate from @Johnny_J over on Instagram, who is saying The Rock should defeat Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I mean, that is certainly a hot take. And for the most part of this year, I kind of thought that the plan for the Royal Rumble would be Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. Maybe it is. I think we're getting maybe a bit too close now for that to happen. But I honestly thought that Cody was going to face The Rock at the Rumble, Rock was going to win, and then it would be Rock Reigns at WrestleMania. But I do think if that happened, a lot of fans would be complaining. So in my opinion, I could have seen it happening, but I think it should not have happened. But Clark, what about you? Do you think The Rock should defeat Cody Rhodes?
Should, I don't know. I'd love it. I would dig it. You know me well enough when it comes to the Cody Rhodes scenario, it would just crack me up. I do think, though, at this stage, if you pull the trigger on The Rock being the one to take the title, that there's going to be more backlash in regards to that than if they have a match that doesn't necessarily involve that belt. I don't know. This is actually a really difficult, because it's not even a question, it's a hot take. I have no problem with it, is my definitive answer to this. I would enjoy The Rock defeating Cody. I just don't know what the backlash looks like if The Rock isn't on TV and is the champion for how long, until like what, SummerSlam? We're looking at, months between appearances, unless he's coming back closer to full time or making more, weekly appearances than you would expect. Then the answer would probably be no. I wouldn't go that route. But as far as like personal opinion, I would love to see it. I just think it'd be funny more than anything. It would be entertaining.
It would be, but I also do think that, like, for example, it happened at the Rumble and then he held it until Mania, like he did back in the day,
That could be fair.
during the feud with Cena. I mean, I think that would work and he'd be on TV enough and he doesn't need to even have one title defense in that time. I think it could work, but also to your point, like, and you guys know me, I go on about ages a lot, but he really is, quite old.
He's up there.
He's in his 50s. So I don't know how people would feel about Cody Rhodes losing to somebody who's nearly 2 decades older than him. Like, is it more worth putting a younger talent over?
I mean, I just think whether age or not, somebody that's going to be there every week,
Yeah,
get them over is the logical move. Like, at the end of the day, that would be my only issue that I could foresee having if The Rock were to dethrone Cody. Like, we could have gotten somebody else or put somebody that's going to be more active in that spot.
Yeah, a Carmelo Hayes or somebody like that. I mean, there's so many names. There absolutely is. Even a Kevin Owens too. Kevin Owens, I think people would be like that. Oh, he should have dropped it to Kevin, not The Rock. I think that would be the one which people would jump on quite quickly. But what about you, Josh? Would you want to see? Do you think Rock should defeat Cody Rhodes?
This is definitely a hot take. I think either way, WWE books this match. There's going to be backlash no matter who wins. It's just how it's going to work out. That's the type of match that this is going to be. I mean, it's a John Cena Rock type matchup, honestly. And I think if somebody is going to take the belt off Cody, I think it has to be The Rock. Just the way that we've seen Cody been built since he's been back. I don't think there's anybody else that can take this belt off of him besides The Rock. We've seen him beat Roman, so now what? I think the first point that leads towards this is the Raw After Mania segment, which some people forget about, but I mean, the seeds were fully planted there. I was there live. Super awkward segment, by the way. The crowd, remember, was chanting like, "This is awkward" or whatever. Like, it was a really weird segment. Like, they swapped belts and stuff. But honestly, I think Cody Rhodes and The Rock's rivalry during Mania season was debatably more intense than Cody's rivalry with Roman. So I think this match is going to happen either way. I think it would have just been a waste of the first 30 minutes of the Raw After Mania if they didn't do this match and they planted the seeds and all that. And I believe that Cody may follow this CM Punk's WWE Championship reign that he had. And you mentioned that earlier. CM Punk left WrestleMania 28 as the champion in 2012, and then he lost it at the following Royal Rumble in 2013 to The Rock. Now, what if Cody Rhodes left WrestleMania 40 with the belt as the champion? What if he loses it this year at this year's Royal Rumble, like you said? However, I will say it's getting a bit close. Maybe we'll see The Rock on Netflix premiere, then they build that. But if we don't see him on January 6th, I'm not sure we're ever going to get that match at Royal Rumble. It's just, that's the type of match you really need to build up. And, time is ticking. It's already December 16th. The Rumble is February 1st. So they need at least 3 to 4 weeks to actually build that type of match. So, we'll see about that. But I could see very well Cody Rhodes following that path that CM Punk followed in 2013, 2012, and 2013. But honestly, yeah, I mean, I just don't think I do agree with you. Like, there are certain talent that should be put over and deserve it more than The Rock, of course. But then again, we're the biggest moment of WWE right now, the biggest era. They're just moving to Netflix. Ratings are high. Merchandise is high. Ticket sales are high. Maybe they'll put the belt on The Rock and just go to the moon with everything they got right now. But I don't think there's a single person that should dethrone Cody than The Rock, honestly, unless they really build up a certain talent for a while. As of now, I don't think anybody but The Rock should dethrone Cody.
Wow. Yeah. That is certainly a hot take. I mean, I can't even get over how excited and how pumped up Clark would be if The Rock dethroned Cody at the Royal Rumble.
I mean, so hard. Evil laugh.
Oh, I know. You'll be doing a
cackle.
We'd need a green screen reel from you, and then all the Instagram comments would just be going nuts. They'd be fuming.
Oh, God.
Fuming at the fact you were celebrating Cody's demise.
Oh, so good.
Shard is saying, and we'll get onto this later on the show, Cody should lose at Mania, and then we can go to a heel Cody. That would be interesting. Against Cena. Heel Cody, face John Cena. Take my money, please. Kobe saying, of course, 2013 was when it last happened. with CM Punk and, taking it up with The Rock, taking it off CM Punk. So who knows? Could history repeat itself? It could well. And I think that would be very exciting indeed. I know, and we don't really touch upon stuff like this at Wrestling Republic because we like to stay away from spoilers. If we ever do cover any dirt sheet stuff, it's spoiler free and all that. But there's a lot of rumblings whether or not The Rock will be at Mania or not. I've said it off air, and I'll say it now. I don't think anybody in the know is sharing that information. I truly don't, and whether or not he wins the title is a different thing. I 100% do think we're going to see Cody and Rock at WrestleMania in some capacity because, to your point, Josh, otherwise that Raw after WrestleMania segment, the first segment after WrestleMania, would have been a waste. It would have.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's frustrating if that is the case. It truly, truly is. But now let's move on to the next question, shall we? Let's move on to talk about who should dethrone. Cody is one of the names. Another name is Chelsea Green, and another name is Braun Breaker. This question is submitted to us by Just Apart on Instagram. Shout out to you. And I mean, this is a tough one. It absolutely is. 3 great champions. We just said perhaps The Rock for Cody, but what about Chelsea Green and Braun Breaker as well? Clark, I'll pass this one to you.
Okay, so for Cody, I'm going to stick with The Rock anyway, just because we're here and why not? We talked about it already. I mean, yeah, I'm going with The Rock for Cody. For Breaker, this one's interesting. I had to think a lot about what I would do here because there's a lot of good choices. I think it's John Cena for Braun Breaker when it comes to that. You get him the Grand Slam. It's not the record for most world championships, but he gets the Grand Slam by winning the IC title. And I'm going to go with Cena. His return at Mania goes over against Breaker like one last time, but then Breaker decimates him in the rematch. Yes, that sounds hot potato-y and a bit of a cop-out, but that's what I'm going with. That's my pick. When it comes to Chelsea Green, this is interesting. I've thought about this for a long time, and we're due for those tag team titles over on SmackDown, and that's the women's tag team titles, to change hands as well. I think the person to defeat Chelsea Green for this title is Jade Cargill. I think Chelsea holds it for about a month and a half. Something happens with the tag division, and then you can run the rivalry around the U.S. women's title with Jade holding it. She's proven she did an excellent job as TBS champion. She's dominant. I would love for Jade Cargill to win that United States title over Chelsea or off Chelsea Green in the coming months.
That would be exciting. It truly would. I mean, sometimes, as wrestling fans, or just in any sport with championship belts, there are just some people who you think, that specific championship belt would look great on them. And the United States Championship would undoubtedly look just amazing on Jade Cargill. But I mean, I guess the question would be, how could you get there from where we are right now? Are you saying that Chelsea should have a really long reign and then that would happen?
I was thinking about it doesn't have to be that long. I think something kind of happens with the tag titles that sets this off, and whether they lose them or not, the way you get there is Jade gets upset and kind of goes rogue and takes the match with Chelsea, all but squashes her, just absolutely decimates her, right? And wins that title, and maybe even that's what causes the final crack with Bianca and the tag team, right? There's a lot of creative opportunity there, and that's part of the reason that I picked Jade.
That's an interesting thing, though. I don't even think Jade's the champion, though, is she now? Is Naomi just subbing in, or is Naomi officially taken over?
I don't know how they're doing that. It seems like Spirit Squad rules to me, but that's neither here nor there.
It does. There's been so many tag titles being vacated over the years. Surely if it was as simple as just doing that, they would have done that so many times. I did think it was a bit weird this week on SmackDown when that happened, but again, and we'll get onto that in a second, I think it's all linking back round a little bit. The John Cena Braun Breaker thing that you said, I think that would be fascinating. I don't know how I'd feel about Braun Breaker winning back the IC title from a hot potato reign once again, because we just saw the same thing with Jey Uso.
I think it's about padding stats, though. And at the end of the day, if he takes a loss to John Cena, he takes a loss to John Cena, as long as on the back end of it, it's avenged. And
Yeah.
yes, I hear the comparisons to Jey Uso, but it's different, right? And this is about padding stats for Cena, giving you the best opportunity at WrestleMania to have the biggest possible match surrounding the Intercontinental title with the most on the line, because Cena becoming a Grand Slam champion, that's the only accomplishment he doesn't have in the industry.
That's true.
That's it. Like, there's only one, right? I mean, yeah, there's a short.
Well,
short
there
list
is
of people that
there
can
is
win that
another one as well.
world title as well. But how about, so if he wins that world title and he's got that record but never wins the IC, I don't know, man. There's an argument to be made that winning the IC and being the Grand Slam solidifies his resume in the GOAT conversation stronger than having the most title reigns.
Because I disagree so much. How many Grand Slam champions are there? There's almost 20.
This is why I say that, though, Ben. Yes, there's more Grand Slam champions, right? But how many people are there tied at the top with that many title reigns? 16, right? And remember, Ric Flair includes 4 more that we don't talk about. He says it's 20. WWE says it's 16, which is fine. But it's a subjective argument here. It's a subjective argument. They're tied at the top. If he's a Grand Slam champion, and we justify arguing for people that have held less titles than Ric Flair when we have the argument for greatest of all time. Adding the Grand Slam to the list, I think, is equally as valuable to Cena's career-long resume as winning the world title and passing Flair. Because Flair's my entire life has been the most reigns guy. That's his deal, right? That's 16 time or whatever, right? Like Booker T was doing 5 time. Like, you have to do multiplication to get to Ric Flair at the end of the day. Now, where we're at, you're still able to argue like, oh, Undertaker had what, 4 reigns, 5 reigns total? But there's a lot of people that would argue he's the better career wrestler than Ric Flair. There are plenty that would. There's plenty of people that would argue that Shawn Michaels is better, less reigns, that so-and-so, right? And so I do think the Grand Slam thing, that piece of the puzzle, the IC title is so historic. Yes, a 17th reign would be great, but it also means you lost it 16 times.
That is the one thing where it's like, is it a flex, or does it mean you're great winning championship belts, but you can't retain them?
It's not like Super Bowls where like you have to defend that title too, so you got to lose it that many times to even get that stat to where it is.
That's true.
I think that's less valuable to Cena's career resume than the IC run would be, even if it's short, even if it's a flash in the pan.
Do you know what I think they should do, right? If they're going to have John Cena defeat Braun Breaker, so if that happens, what I would do from there is I would have John Cena go on to win the WWE Championship a 17th time, win that while being the Intercontinental Champion. He's holding both. He's got both accolades. Then have Braun Breaker beat him and dominantly beat him. That way, Braun Breaker's not just winning back the IC time for the IC title for what, the second, third time, or third time it would be. Then he is also winning a title which he hasn't won, and I think that would elevate him a lot more while doing, a similar thing to what you first said.
Yeah, I hear you. I think double champ Cena is a big ask these days. Right now, that is a big ask.
You could have him hold them both for like a month, though. Like, have him win the IC. Then have a couple of defenses, then win the WWE at like SummerSlam, and then have Cena drop them both to Braun Breaker at the end or something like that. Another good shout is from DCX Warlord saying Sheamus. A lot of people want to see Sheamus winning that IC title because that's another person who just hasn't seen it, and then Cena dethroned Sheamus. Here's the thing: if we're going to do Sheamus versus Cena for the Intercontinental Championship, then I think we have to have it that it's like a vacant belt or something, and they're both fighting for it. Because the story there would be great, but the story needs to be that neither of them have won it. So I'm only interested if they could get to do that in a place where the title's actually vacant and neither of them have won it, such as,
cool,
yeah, like a 2 fatal 4-ways or something. But Megan saying you all
no, it was a question.
Talking about taking the title off Chelsea Green. I mean, I don't want to see her lose it anytime soon. I'm a big Chelsea Green fan, but Christopher Leclerc says Bayley will be the one to do it. A lot of people say that. Also, the maths teacher, Kobe, is not happy with you, Clark. I think you made a mistake. 5 doesn't go into 16. But
I just said you have to do multiplication to get close. So that was an accurate statement. Let's be very clear on that.
Fair.
Fair enough. Well, let's move on now to the next. Actually, no, I need to talk about something else which I like first, and that, well, in case you guys haven't heard of it, is Demand Progress Plus. Basically, it's Progress Wrestling streaming service, but it is so user friendly. It has got so many other wrestling promotions on it as well. Progress Wrestling, as well as Defy Wrestling, TNT Extreme Wrestling, and tons of other wrestling promotions. They also have an event coming up on December 28th, and it's unboxing, right? And what that event is, it's a mystery card. Nobody knows any matches beforehand. It just happens, and you get shocked every single time. More and more people come out. You're like, what? It is shocker after shocker. It is fantastic. But this year, they've made a little change. They've announced one name and one name only, and that is Vikingo. So you will see him in the UK for the first time. I'm excited for it. So, of course, if you guys subscribe this month to Demand Progress Plus, you will see that event. And you can use code What'sProgress1 to get 50% off your first month on Demand Progress Plus, the home of Progress, Defy Wrestling, and more. Super user-friendly. If you're ADHD like me, there's a 2x speed option, which I personally absolutely adore. But yeah, honestly, guys, now the WWE Network is shutting down internationally, well, you might have a few more bucks in your pocket. And if that is the case, Demand Progress Plus, there's no better way to spend it. But now let's move on to the next question, because the next question is submitted by at Pyro That Great over on Instagram, who is submitting a hot take. And in fact, it's related to what we were just talking about. Jade Cargill. The hot take is Jade Cargill needs to come back as a heel and take out Bianca Belair. This was something which me and Clark actually discussed 2 weeks ago. I believe it was me and Clark. But what I said was, I actually want this to happen. I completely agree. I want Jade Cargill to come back and take out Bianca Belair, just brutally destroy her. And her reasoning being, Bianca Belair, I know you're the one who took me out. And all these fans still loved you. Screw all of you. I'm now doing what's best for me. And Bianca Belair saying, I'm innocent. They feud all the way to WrestleMania. WrestleMania, they do their big match. Then after WrestleMania, they do a draft. And in the draft, crucially, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill get split up to two different brands. Then whatever brand Bianca Belair is on, the real attacker of Jade becomes clear. Then Bianca Belair feuds with her because she is so furious that that person ended her friendship with Jade Cargill. Bang, 2 stories for the price of 1. But what about you, Josh? What are your thoughts on this hot take?
You killed that, honestly. I like that booking a lot. I agree pretty much with you. I love that idea. I pretty much have a similar one. Yeah, I agree with the whole hot take itself. Cargill should turn heel. Of course, her first opponent should be Bianca Belair. I'm going to go with a more simpler story. I do like yours better, actually, than mine, now that I heard it. But I think it's going to happen in the Royal Rumble. I think it's going to be simple. It's going to be easy. I think Cargill is going to eliminate Belair, setting up that massive WrestleMania match. You know, every Royal Rumble, we will see WrestleMania matches be set up through that Rumble match. That's what's going to happen here. I think Cargill is going to do the classic, eliminate the partner, WrestleMania match, set it up. But I think this rivalry actually could span, and I hope it spans longer than just WrestleMania. You know, I could see Jade versus Bianca at Mania. If built correctly, this match could open the show, setting the tone for the whole weekend. I think it should, much like Rhea Ripley did with Becky Lynch this past Mania. But I think, I think Bianca will win at WrestleMania, continuing undefeated streak. I think that's important as well. Let's keep Bianca's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, getting, she's earning that Miss WrestleMania crown. But then I think that rivalry should continue through Mania. Maybe, that heel Cargill still remaining active, still angry and demanding another match at Backlash. Cargill should maybe win that one, leaving the series, 1-1. And then imagine that final third match. I think this Cargill-Belair rivalry, they're so talented on the mic, in the ring. They have that look. They both have the it factor. They are both two of my favorite wrestlers in the world right now. And I know for a fact they could put on a great program for, 3 months or so. I really think they could do this perfectly. And I can imagine that third match maybe being an Iron Man match, maybe even being, why not a 3 stages of hell match? We haven't seen that in a decade, have we? Something like that to keep, maybe make it a best of 3 series. I really think this rivalry could be a best of 3 series. And I think it's a perfect way to have this memorable rivalry. I can see if, booked correctly, which I think it will, because the booking has been great for pretty much everyone so far since Triple H has taken over. We're talking about a memorable rivalry for two of the biggest stars in the WWE right now. WrestleMania, Backlash, and then whatever the next PLE is after that. Best of 3 series. Cargill is a heel. I think it works perfectly.
I agree. And a 3 stages of hell match. Yes, please.
Yeah,
I think that would be a perfect feud for that.
Honestly, did you get so stoked you talked the headphone out of your right ear?
Yes,
That was pretty
impressive.
The headphone freaked out. That was impressive.
The booking was
the headphone was like, oh, dude, mic drop.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. We got a few comments here. D6 Warlord saying Chelsea Green should dethrone Nia, Liv, Fallon, and Roxanne Perez. So basically, all the titles in the WWE.
Sounds like a boxer. 5 belts.
Christopher Leclerc says Bailey and Naomi attack Jade Cargill. I do think Naomi could well be the direction they're going in, but I mean, I would also like Bailey.
I expect more than one attacker.
Yeah, 2. And 2 people not, they were so
that I actually hadn't considered was that it would be 2 people that did it.
Shorts below the belt is saying, come on, guys, let's keep it real. Jade Cargill pulled an Eddie Thorpe and attacked herself, lol. That's a real theory as well. That is a legitimate theory some people are having, that Bianca. Jade Cargill decided to just do a bump on a car. I mean,
she did. Cannonball!
I need to bite myself off TV for a bit. But
you know what I'm looking for? Time off.
Yeah.
But oh gosh. But Kobe's trying to correct me as well, saying Vikingo was announced. I said that. I said Vikingo was announced.
Dude, stop being such a corrector.
Lingerer. Well, let's now move on to the final topic, shall we? Because my laptop's doing the thing again. It's doing the thing again, Clark. It's running out of charge. Every Monday it does it. Just decides, don't fancy charging. Plugged in.
No reason.
The worst part is, it recognizes the charger. Just the charge goes down anyway. It's saying it's charging. We've gone down from, I think, about 75% to 14% during this show.
That is not it at all. I'm at 99% and plugged in, just to be clear. 96, actually.
Gosh. Wow. I'll figure something out while one of you guys is talking. Don't worry. But now let's move on.
My phone's at 78 and it's on battery saver mode. So...
Can you do that for your laptop, I wonder? That's on 13% now, guys. Let's go on to the next topic, shall we? Because this is submitted by Geordie in the Bank himself, who was saying, he sent in a hot take, saying Cody's heel turn has already started, but his fans are too loyal to him to actually realize it. Now, the big theory that this is, and it is a theory which makes a lot of sense, is that over the last few months, Cody has been doing more and more heel-like things. We saw he used the chair at Saturday Night's main event. But what's so smart about all of this is every time he's done a heelish thing, there is a good reason to defend him. And if the plan is to do a Homelander gimmick type thing, where he thinks he's a babyface, but he is a heel, well, if that is the plan, they are executing it perfectly so far. And just more happens slowly and slowly over time. I think this could be one of the best character arcs in WWE history. Here's the thing, though. I don't think they're doing it. I actually think fans are just looking into everything a little bit too much. He sells too much merch for them, I think, right now, for them to decide, okay, let's turn Cody heel. They don't have many top face draws, and I don't think they're just going to turn Cody heel. I hope I'm wrong, because like I said, if this is all part of the plan and they are doing a Homelander gimmick, this could be one of the greatest character arcs in the history of WWE. Josh, I'm going to send this one to you first. Do you think that he's already turned heel?
This is a very interesting point. Shout out to our good friend Jordy for the question. Of course, I did just see Karrion Kross right before the show tweet, like saying Cody is the kingdom of lies, calling him a devil and all that. And, it makes you think, like you said, Cody's been, he's been doing more heelish stuff, I guess you could say. Has he turned heel yet? Of course no, he has not. have there been certain points where seemingly he did something out of character? Sure. Like you said, the main point that people are talking about is that he used the chair. But I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. And personally, I don't think that's like anything him towards going like heel. I think, the character is a fighting champion. He's passionate. He's energetic. He's loud. I think, him getting back at the heel by doing something like using a chair is good for his character actually as a babyface. I think it makes him a teeny bit less of that mega babyface that John Cena was, or it seems like John Cena never would have done anything like that. So I kind of like how they're doing that. I'm not a loyal fan of Cody, but I'm also not a hater of him. So I can see how they're planting that seeds for, the future heel turn. And I got to agree with you here. If I saw I'm a huge fan of the TV show The Boys. If I saw Homelander Cody, oh my, I would be ecstatic. First of all, he has the look. He looks exactly like Homelander. It's crazy. And I could tell, we saw a little bit of it in AEW and, of course, in Ring of Honor. Cody has that heel in him. We know he does. But like you said, it is a business. He's on top of the sales. He's, the biggest face draw there is. And if he turns heel, you brought up a good point, Ben. I don't know who the next big babyface draw is outside of Roman. They got the bloodline, of course, but they've had them for a while now. I don't know who's next up after that. I think they really need Cody up there, and they also really need Roman up there. So I think that's going to last for a while. Will it happen in the future? I think yes, probably. I don't know when, though. John Cena never turned heel. It took Hulk Hogan about 12 years to turn heel or so. So, putting Cody Rhodes in that category of babyfaces, I don't know when this heel turn happens. But, I think him doing these more heel things is actually good for his babyface character. Like I said, it just makes him less of that mega babyface. But I don't think it started, and I agree with you. I think people are just being a little too nitpicky, looking into things too much.
Yeah, that is actually a great point you made as well. Faces, they never do anything bad. But in reality, are we in an age now where a baby face, which is just completely good, just feels so unnatural and unrealistic that people actually don't buy into it, and they're no longer the ones fans get behind? Because a lot of people are saying Kevin Owens is right. A lot of people are defending Kevin Owens. They like, the people that they cheer for to not just be fully good, but just have good reasonings as to why they do bad things, perhaps.
Yeah. You just need that reason, and Cody has it. I agree. Yeah. I think it's like, if Kevin Owens was trying to use a chair on him the entire time, and then he never used a chair, it just wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't buy into it. I wouldn't think it's authentic and real. So
it's true. No matter which way they do this, I do agree. I think it's good. Like I said, if this is the Homelander thing and they continue doing it the way they're doing it, but slowly, I think, again, it could be one of the greatest character arcs ever. But even if it isn't that direction, to your point, Cody just being a babyface who isn't just all completely good, I think is also great. So no matter which one they do, I think it is brilliant. Kobe saying that he typed Vikingo before I mentioned him.
No, we can't give him that much credit.
Oh, gosh. He's correcting the correction. We'll
timestamp it after.
We'll have to look into that. Send that up the chain of command.
D6 Warlord saying Cody Rhodes should have smoke and mirrors go into Kingdom. Oh, that could be interesting. Would it work? If there's surely somebody can make one of those on
Chaos
YouTube.
Is a producer. We should ask him.
Yeah,
Chaos. Come on. There. T6 Warlord also says Homelander Cody versus Soldier Boy John Cena. We're just getting into the boys' law here, right?
Soldier Boy John Cena is actually the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's golden, DCX Warlord. You win. You win the day. Comment of the day.
You win.
You win. That is a winner.
Rosario saying Cody at Mania would be a perfect heel turn like Austin against Rock and joining Vince. Turning heel at WrestleMania. That would be incredible. That my jaw, I think, would smash the floor.
Wouldn't he be turning face though?
Oh, ha. Kobe saying, I am the chain, but Clark.
No, you're just on the chain.
Do you think Cody has turned heel?
I've been confused by this entire conversation, to be honest. The guy's been a heel since he stepped into WWE. It's a fact. He cuts every corner in the world. First match, debut, WrestleMania 38, Seth Rollins. He gets to watch as much tape as he'd like, scout his opponent. What does Seth get? Nothing. Big old surprise. Of course he goes over in that one. Then he gets too cocky on the bench press, tears his shoulder, and wants a bunch of sympathy for it in that Hell in a Cell match where he uses tons of weapons. His arm gets messed up. He uses the cast as a weapon against Brock Lesnar. He wears those goofy, cocky 3-piece suits with the tie clips. This guy is a heel. I don't understand it. Not only that, he's asking for help from everybody to finally finish his story. What kind of narcissist? Are you kidding me? Go out and wrestle the match by yourself. What are you doing? This guy's so self-obsessed, you can't even make it up. Kevin Owens has been right. They've all been right. Cody Rhodes is a heel. He doesn't need to turn heel. And he didn't turn already. He's always been a heel. That's who this guy is. It's just a fact.
Well, that answers that one then. I mean, from the second he wore a tie clip and left AEW, joined WWE, Clark, you were just like, nah, I've had enough of this guy.
At every opportunity, he takes the easy road, whatever, right? What do you need? 7 guys to beat Roman Reigns?
It's true. I mean, you're not wrong, Megan, saying that was your best promo. I genuinely think that was your best rant on the daily since the original tie clip rant. I mean, we need to reel that up because people are going to be fuming with you, Clark.
I can't wait.
Shots below the belt is saying you are Wrestling Republic's top heel, Clark Pipe Bomb.
That's great.
Oh gosh, no, that is gold. But the thing is, again, like there are a lot. You made a lot of good points. Like genuinely, Cody acts so much like a heel at times. And that is why, if I was WWE, I would slowly be turning this guy heel. I'd be doing exactly what they're doing right now.
I think you mean
with these subtle things. With these subtle things. And then maybe at WrestleMania, it becomes clear. Or maybe you do a face a Roman versus a heel Cody or just something like that. And it becomes a shock. But then as soon as it happens, people go back and are like, oh, wait, he actually turned heel ages ago. All of these hints, they now make sense. That's how I would personally do it. And if they do it that way, exceptional. Or maybe they're just trying to make him, to your point, Josh, a babyface who isn't all good, which again is good.
This guy's out there handing out weight belts, weight shaming the fans. It's ridiculous. He's a heel.
Weight shaming.
Yes.
Weight shaming the fans.
He's like, get in the gym. You need a weight belt. Take this one. Right? Like, it's not like it. I mean, this guy is the biggest heel in the business.
Or he's giving out to the youth to motivate them to get into the gym, which is babyface.
Yeah, that's a
no.
move.
He's weight shaming them for not being there already. He's like, yeah, you look like you need a weight belt.
It's 2 sides.
The inspiration, no? Is he setting the bar too high or is he pushing them enough? There's a lot of ways to look at this, right? Kobe saying you're the only heel aside from Ignacio. Megan is saying Cody is my GOAT. I am here for whatever he does next. D6 Warlord says Hulk Hogan did the same thing.
Speaking of heels.
Oh, I mean, we saw it. His true colors came
Hollywood
out,
Hulk Hogan. We know exactly what he was thinking the whole time.
Anthony Manzano says he explained why
that was a joke, Manzano. That was the most tongue-in-cheek thing I said. I assure you, I'm completely joking about that. I think it's cool that he does it. It's like Bret Hart in the glasses. Like that's the reality. We're having fun, guys. I don't actually believe that that's the case. I want to be clear on that one. That one was pretty extreme compared to the rest of the ones I said that were decent points, but that one was a joke.
As a heel, he should do that. He should still give out the weight belt. He should do like Homelander does, where like he's still nice to everybody, but it's like backhanded compliments. He gives out his weight belt and goes, "Start going to the gym, kid."
Exactly. Just throwing it in.
They need to do that now. They need to do that.
It would be great. He would brainwash all the fans and stuff. That would be awesome. It would be so awesome.
Oh, gosh. Shots below the belt is saying that they're rolling. Cody standing outside a Planet Fitness, calling people fat as they walk in. Oh.
Planet Fitness.
That is it. That's how we start the turn. We booked it.
That's ideal. Send it up to WWE.
You're going to want this.
Oh, there's so much they could do. This genuinely could be a generational heel turn. And it just, but I'm not even like, I don't know. There's just so many ways you could do it. I hope they do it. But again, he earns them too much money. He earns them too much money. I don't see it happening. I don't. Wait a second. Sean Ellis says Cody getting hurt on Saturday night's main event is a joke. Did that happen?
Well, they said that he hurt his spine on the pile driver, but I do believe it's kayfabe.
I completely forgot about. I
There was an
completely
injury
forgot about the
angle
fact.
to
Yeah.
end-
Yeah,
end
I
the
completely
entire
forgot
show.
about the fact Kevin Owens dropped him on his head. He was stretching
pile
out.
driver.
Triple H was fuming. I forgot about it all, and so would a lot of people if they didn't if they actually watched the NBC broadcast. It wasn't shown on there. But that does bring us, guys, to the end of the show. Thank you to Clark. Thank you to Josh. It's been a fun one, and thank you to everybody who sent in a question or a hot take and commented throughout. We really do appreciate it. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow to talk more wrestling, and specifically Monday Night Raw, the last live Raw of the USA Network era. And that is wild to think about. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.